Okay, start with chapter 2. So again, if you didn't do so well on chapter 1, here's your fresh start with chapter 2. Complete the table. So some of you already know how to convert these. Some of you don't. So that's why I am doing this lesson today. So to make sure that everybody knows how to do it. So you're very likely to see this table on the test or on the final exam. You need to know how to convert between each one of these interchangeably. So to go from a percent to a decimal, what do? How do you go from a percent to a decimal, Mohini? Divide by 100, simple as that, good. So 58% divided by 100, so 58 divided 100, 0.58. Okay. Your teacher probably taught you the shortcut. Whenever you divide by 100, you basically just move that decimal place over. And so it's 0.58. How do you go from a decimal or percent to a fraction? Okay. To go from a percent to a fraction, what do you put it over? Yeah, put it over 100. So this is 58 over 100. Okay. Do I like this final answer? Why not? Simplify. I can reduce this. 58 over 100 is 29 over 50. Good. Whenever you have fractions, you always have to reduce it. And then to a fraction to a ratio, it just means you need to put the 2 colon. Okay, so this is 29 to 50. We call this 2. Okay, so when we read this, it's 29 to 50. Okay. So now that we know this, we can do it backwards. So 0.12 as the percent. 12%. Good. And it makes sense to me. If we want to go from percent to decimal, we divide by 100. So if we want to go back this way, we times by 100. Okay, as a fraction, 12 over 100. We put it over 100. I don't like this fraction because I can reduce this. Petro? 3 over 25. Good. Okay, I can divide this by 2. 6 over 50. I can still divide by 2 again, so I get 3 over 25 in lowest terms. So what's that as a ratio? 3 to 25. Excellent. Okay. So for the third row, just because I have this set up like this, it doesn't mean I have to start with percent. I can start with whichever column I want. So 13 over 100, I think this is the easiest. Let's just put it 13 over 100. 13 to 100. To change it to a decimal, how do I change this to a decimal? Yeah, so 13 over 100. Again, a lot of people don't struggle with this. 13 over 100 is basically just 13 divided by 100 on your calculator. That's what that division sign is. That line is always division. So when you divide it, it's just 0.13. Okay. And just like up here, as we have that decimal, we know it's just 13%. Okay. So for this last row, who wants to tell me one answer? Yeah, Sean? Fraction is 4 over 5. Good. Yeah, 4 to 5 is just the same as 4 over 5. Okay, someone else for percent or decimal? Yusuf? 0.8. Excellent. 4 divided by 5 on your calculator gives you 0.8. And then someone for percent? Petro? 80%. Excellent. Okay. 0.8 is 80%. Right, Hassan? Let's make sure you have a pencil in your hand and not your phone. Okay. Then, what is 8% then? What's 8% as a decimal? Rihanna? 0.08. Okay, so notice the difference between these two. Okay, so a lot of people make this mistake. Okay, so 80% is 0.8, 8% is 0.08. So keep that in mind. Okay, so evaluate. 15% of 12. Whenever we do the math, we always have to change the percentage to a decimal whenever we do calculations. So what's 15% as a decimal? We know how to do it from up here. Any? 0.15. Excellent. Of means times. 12 means 12. Yeah, so 15% of 12 means 0.15 times 12. Using your calculator, you get 1.8. Okay. Those of you who don't have a calculator, when we do chapter 2, you need a calculator. Because we're going to be doing tax and percent and all that, so you need a calculator. 21 is what percent of 400? This sounds like, but all it actually is saying is just this. So I'm not trying to confuse you guys, but that's how the textbook workbook words it. So this is all it is. 21 is what percent of 400? All you're doing is division. So 21 divided by 400, you get 0.0525. Yeah. I know. It's not the other way around, but this is not a percentage. This is a decimal. So how do I...
That doesn't make any sense. Isn't it 40 divided by 40?
No. Yeah, 21 is what percent of 400? Like that. Yeah, I know the wording sounds weird, and this is not my wording either. It's like the workbook, textbook's wording.
How is 21 that percentage?
It's not. This is not my final answer. Yeah, this is not a percent. This is a decimal. So how do I change it to a percent? Times it by 100. So times by 100, you get 5.25%. So now if you read it, it's like 21 is 5.25% of 400.
You changed 15% to decimal, right? Well, for me, we didn't because it's asking for what percentage it is.
Yeah. So yeah, good question. So whenever it asks you for a percentage at the end, make sure you're answering in percent form. This is decimal form. So that's like your hint. I need to change from a decimal back to a percent. So to do that, I have to times by 100. All right. So who likes sales? Everybody does. Okay, so when you go shopping, you see all these sale signs. Some are real, some are fake. So for this clothing store, you are looking at something that's $27.99. And there's a big sign that says 20% off. What is your sale price? All right, so I'm going to show you guys two ways to do this math. I'm going to show you guys the regular way, and then I'm going to show you guys a shortcut way. Yeah, there is a shortcut way. Okay, so you're getting 20% off, so 20% of $27.99. Just like number 2 right here. what should I do? Sorry, Mohini?
Turn it into a decimal.
Yeah, so tell me what to write.
0.20
Perfect. And so 0.20 times 27.99. I get this. Ugh. Okay, so 560. Okay. Woohoo! That shirt is now $5.60. Too good to be true, right? To go from $27.99 to $5.60, that's too good to be true. What is this $5.60 then? Yep. Yeah, and I heard Mohini as well. This is my discount. That's not my sale price. Alright. Your sale price is regular price, subtract your discount because you're paying less. So regularly $27.99, and I'm going to subtract that $5.60. So what is my actual price? $27.99, take away $5.60, $22.39. That's my sale price. That sounds more reasonable.
Can you just multiply by 0.8?
Well, let me show off my shortcut. You just ruined the shortcut. So, yes, good job, Brian. Alright, that was my shortcut. I wanted to impress the class. Okay, but so first off, remember that sale price means you're paying less, so that's why you're subtracting. Okay. And when you do these calculations, one thing I keep telling the class, like even with the last chapter, always go back to your question to think if it makes sense. All right. When I get to here, I know it's too good to be true. All right. It's too little. Sometimes people tell me the final answer is $32. Okay, and that's more than your regular price. So that's also like your hint. You might have done something wrong. Okay. So let's go to what Brian was saying. Shortcut. The shortcut way. Shortcut. So if I am saving 20%, that means how much percent do I have to pay? Brian? If I'm saving 20%, how much of the regular price do I have to pay? 80%. So what I could do is 80% of $27.99. Because I'm saving 20, that means I still have to pay 80% of it. And so when I do 0.8 times $27.99, let's see what we get. 0.80 times $27.99. Ta-da! $22.39 in one line. Okay. So I could do this shortcut on the test. Doesn't matter. You can do this for me. Alright. I just did this to show the regular step, and then this is the shortcut step. So for example, if it's 15% off, what would I multiply here? Yep. 85%. If it's 40% off, what would I multiply here? 60%. Okay? So that's how I do the shortcut. Why am I not including the 2? Why do I have to round? Right. Money is 2 decimal places only. So I keep telling my grade 9s, unless one day you bring me a penny and show me in class how to break that penny, I don't want to see that too. Okay? So only 2 decimal places. Alright, calculate the tax. How much percent tax do we pay in Ontario? 13, yes. The horrible tax. 13% tax. So on the test, it will say tax. It will ask you tax, and the standard tax is 13%. Okay, keep that in mind. So you better not ask me on the test how many percent is tax. Because you've been in Canada long enough to know that it's 13%. Okay. So I want to calculate 13% tax on this. So 13% of what price am I going to use? Yes, so not the regular price, not the discount price, but the sale price. So $22.39. Right? So 0.13 times $22.39. I want to find out how much is my tax. So 0.13 times $22.39. I get this. What should I round it to? 2.91. Good. Mohini doesn't want to break a penny for me. So good. She's really good with rounding. Okay. What is this 291? Tax. Just the tax. So what do I have to do with the tax? Yeah, tax means you pay more, sadly. So final price is sale price plus tax. So 22.39 plus 291. Final answer. $25.30. Will I get full marks for this answer? Dollar sign. There you go. Good job. Units. Okay. No matter how many times I emphasize units, always one person in the class would miss their unit. So, but I'll keep emphasizing units. All right. Okay, but since there's a shortcut for this, there is also a shortcut for this. Yeah, there's a shortcut as well. Who knows the shortcut? 3 people. Okay, what is the shortcut? Naomi? 1.13, excellent. So if you do 22.39 times 1.13, instead of timesing 0.13, you times 1.13. Let's see what do we get. 22.39 times 1.13. Ta-da! 25.30. In one line. 25.30. 1.13, because that 1 already considers this 22.39. So the original price, and then adding a 13% to it, that's how you get it in one step. Yeah. So I always, I do encourage you guys to always do this method. Like this, times by 1.13. Okay. So you have the long method, and you have the shortcut method. Alright, so that's the lesson today. Quick little lesson, only 19 minutes and 19 seconds. On the back, you can see same format as our example right here with some word problems. This one is four different stores, and you have to compare. This one right here, part B of the question says which pair would you buy and why. Make sure you explain why as well. And then lastly, this one is a past EQAO question, so you can see if you know how to do this one. Okay, so not a lot. You have about 20 minutes now. You could finish everything before you go. Otherwise, finish it for homework. Sounds good? All right, let's get working.